can't see anything because the screen. Could you put that there, dear? Thank you very much.
Do you have a cable?
Can I get 40 goals? Get some of the comments. Turn that back, down. Turn that down. Let me just see this. Made a lateral left footer. Just reading some of the comments as they are coming in. Setup's completely different today. How's that sounding?
I'll check it on my phone.
That sounding okay?
Is there any way I can plug this in?
That sounding okay? Yeah, it's sounding perfect. Yes, you can plug that in.
Where?
Underneath somewhere. Just getting some of the comments. Tell me what you thought about that game today. I thought there was a few changes that Brendan Rodgers made to the... Yeah, that sounds good, that's perfect. There was a few changes that Brendan Rodgers made today. One of them being Jeffrey Sloop. I thought that Jeffrey wasn't coming in to the middle of the park as much as he normally does. And I think that was maybe looking forward. I did say that this would be the type of formation that we would play with Kieran Tierney coming back to the team next season. Jeffrey Sloop wasn't coming into the middle of the park the way that they normally does it, like he was at the start when he first came in, similar to what Greg Taylor does. So it was good to see that he hasn't even got my hat on. Oh Jesus. Live and everyone. Yeah, so the system that we played today, talking about that, Baz without a hat. Yeah, I know, you've seen me without a hat. See, you've totally thrown me. A couple of days off and that's it, all shit goes out the window. Yeah, so Jeffrey Sloop wasn't coming into the middle of the park the way that Greg Taylor does. Brendan Rodgers saw that that left-hand side of the park is an area that got targeted at the last game, the game that we don't want to talk about. 3 points is all that mattered today, and I thought it was a fantastic first half. Hearts played the way that I thought they would play, and then I thought, do you know what, Celtic were different class today. They were composed. There was a composure. There was a composure about this. Fuck's sake, discard that heart now. Yeah, Victor Wanyama was sent off. Victor was sent off. My brother texted me. I think my brother might be at the game actually. With hospitality. Hopefully Taylor won't play for us again. I don't think Taylor will because he's not going to be with us next season. He might get a swan song coming on an appearance. I wonder how the fans would react to the appearance. Baz, where you been hiding? We've had some technical issues. Hence the reason that we haven't been doing lives. But Callum McGregor been back in the team. How much have we missed Callum McGregor back in the team? Callum McGregor is that person that just makes the midfield tick, and we saw how much the bench was far superior today than the last few games. It makes a difference. Yep, James Forrest being on the bench, Paulo Bernardo coming back on. It was good to see him getting burnt. What about Sinisalo? We need to talk about the goalkeeper because I'm looking forward to him playing for Celtic full time. There was something different about what Sinisalo brought to the game compared to the likes of Schmeichel and Joe Hart. Sinisalo doesn't want the ball coming back to him. And if you see him, and especially in the first half, he was like that. He wanted the players to turn around and go forward. It's like when he gave the ball to the players, he was doing this. He wants the players to turn around and attack. You know, he's wanting the game to go out quick and fast. Is that going to be a change to the system? Is it going to be a change to the system next season? And are we starting to see the implementation of slight changes to the way that we've played the last 2 seasons under Brendan Rodgers to the way that we're going to play under Brendan Rodgers next season, due to the fact that Greg Taylor won't be there, so you don't have the left back cutting in. Jeffrey Sloop stuck to the byline today. He came in slightly, but nowhere near coming in the middle of the park and mixing it up, and especially up the front, especially up at the top end of the pitch. He wasn't in the middle of the park. He was still outside helping out Jota. He was still giving you that option on the wing, which Kieran Tierney does. Kieran Tierney doesn't come into the middle of the park. So I just thought there's small little changes that we saw today. And obviously Brendan Rodgers has had time to get the camera looks amazing, picture as clear as any. It's the same camera as normal. It's because I'm not going through software. We're just running it straight through YouTube rather than going through software then on YouTube. So yeah, brilliant performance. Let's get into the comment section. Lorna Gallagher says, great to have Cal back. Square Sausage Mix says, predicted 3-0. Good result. David Lamont says, the keeper was solid. I thought the keeper was more than solid. I thought that he was fantastic, the way that he conducted himself in the first half. That save, point blank save in the box. Do you know, he done really well to get down to that. Absolutely fantastic. Have you got a new room? Nope, it's not a new room. It's just the screen is different because I'm not running it through the computer. You can see how much more direct we were. Narovsky did well again. Yes, and I think that comes down to the keeper. The keeper getting us, Sinisalo getting us playing out quicker. There was 2 or 3 times in the first half where Sinisalo just threw the ball over the top of players rather than us playing out the back. And I think that the good thing about the keeper is he knew that we were getting hemmed in the first half. He could see that we were getting hemmed in and he was frustrated. You could see that he was frustrated, the fact that we were getting penned in and the ball was coming back to him. So he was like, right, we need to change it up and we need to get the ball out quicker. And it was good to see Kilmarnock Huns are going down. That's even better if they do. It's even better. How many points do we need? We need to win another 2 games. I think we can't win it now. The St Johnstone game is the next game. If we had won our game previously, we could have won it at St Johnstone at home next week. But it's looking like the first game after the split when we can win the league. So, with that being said, it'll be interesting to see what game we go to Ibrox. It'll be interesting to see what game it is when we go to Ibrox. I'll be at the Killy when we win the title. It'll be Killy against Killy when we win the title. You think so? Aberdeen will beat them. Yes, hoping. Talk about the defence. Cameron Carter-Vickers. You've got to talk about Hearts players going down far too easily today. And where Hearts players trying to get Cameron Carter-Vickers booked, I think they were. So much for sold out and trying to get tickets. What's going on? Says Alan Stevenson. I will talk about that in a minute because there was a lot of people obviously never turned up today, and when we got to 76 minutes, a lot of people started leaving, and it's 3-0 up. It's a crappy game towards the end, but always the same. Season ticket holders not bothering to turn up. Yeah, it's not so good when you see quite a lot of empty seats. Jumping back into this comment section, let me just do this. Adam Ida is shocking. Adam Ida is shocking. Lanky says, I've said this for a while, but the only time Paradise has full capacity is against them in European nights. Lanky, you're right. It's got worse over the last 4 years. I think ever since lockdown, we had the season after lockdown, you had pretty much, you had games where you had full capacity, most games under Ange, but the fans, and it's no disrespect to Celtic, and it's not what Celtic are putting on the pitch, and it's not. If you ask, the mindset of the fans now is we're winning, we're not going to lose the game. There's traffic issues outside Celtic Park right after the game, and people are trying to get away and beat the traffic. Whether you agree with that or not, I don't agree with it, because I would always be one that would be sitting in the stadium right till about 10 minutes after the game. I mean, I was still in the stadium sometimes. But the fan base has changed a lot over the last couple of years when it comes to people wanting away. Should do that 5-game thing, so many waiting on the list. Who will turn up every game? Yeah, it was interesting to see Celtic trying to sell a 5-game package for the women's football. For the remaining games. Baz, if the Mankey Mob lose tonight, they can secure the title against Saints. Will they lose up in Dundee? I'm not too sure. I'm not interested. We'll win it when we win it now. We get the next game done, and then... Baz, did you notice when Calmack went off, the pace and pressure was not as good? Yes, I did notice that. I said that to the missus. When you look at the pace that Callum McGregor and that steadiness in midfield. Now, we spoke about it after the game a couple of weeks ago, that when you don't have Callum McGregor in that midfield, doesn't matter who comes in, Paulo Bernardo, Luke McCowan, Arnie Ingles, they are not as good as Callum McGregor. They're nowhere near as good as Callum McGregor. Hey ho Baz, great game today. Traffic is brutal today, but stay till the end. Stuart, I know it's brutal after the game. It's never changed. Do you know? And yes, there are more people taking cars to the games now. The buses, the bus park is a nightmare getting out of the bus park. I mean, you can be sitting in the bus park over at the Emirates, where the bus that I used to go on, the Joseph Rafferty Club, they still run a 53-seater and a minibus. And the two buses, they can be stuck in for about half an hour after a game, waiting to get out. So there has to be something brought in. I mean, Glasgow City Council's been trying to do this for years. They've even tried to implement a no parking zone in and around the stadium to stop traffic from. So yeah, that is what it is. Engels was fine today, says Rahman. Yeah, he was fine, but there's none of them as good as the players that we spoke about. It's shown how important. I mean, Engels plays his position well, but none of them can play Callum McGregor's position the way that Callum McGregor does. And I think that for me, that's a concern going forward. I know that Callum's still got 3 years left on his contract before he'll decide to hang up the boots, but we need to start thinking a couple of years down the line. We did it when Scott Brown was here. You knew that Callum McGregor would be the person to step into Scott Brown's boots. You don't see who that is. Now, maybe going for Lennon Miller this summer, maybe that is the continuation plan that Celtic have, getting Lennon Miller in the door and then giving him 3 years under Calmack, the same as what Calmack had under Bruni. He had more than 3 years, but he had a lot of playing with an older person in the midfield that can talk him through games and train him and, you know, coach him on all aspects of how to control a game of football for that holding midfield player. So maybe weird. But the game today, Daizen Maeda hits his 30th goal for Celtic. Daizen Maeda hits his 30th goal for Celtic. Can Daizen Maeda hit 40 goals? Can Daizen Maeda get 40 goals this season? I think he can, personally. Second half was hard to watch. Can he win every game 6-0? Nah, you can't win every game 6-0. But I've got to say, Hearts must train in the Commonwealth Pool when we went to diving. Yes, they did go down very easy. Very easy today. Someone that you're Barnett? Yes, they did. Baldy locks, 3 years. Oh dear. Anyway, Maeda for 40. He's our Japanese boy. Can Daizen Maeda score another 10 goals with the remaining games of the SPFL to go? Can he score 10 goals? Joking, poor boy got sent off after 17 minutes from Dunfermline. Yeah, Victor Wanyama. Victor coming on as a sub and then getting sent off. Only in Scottish football, eh? De Sinicillo does the same thing as Casper does. Doesn't Sky pass back until there's an opposing striker up his arse. That's the way that they're coached, though, isn't it? I thought Sinicillo was trying to get the ball moved quicker in certain aspects of the first half. Calmack, on his usual, everybody knows what's happening. Sorted. He's all over. He'll get a hat-trick against the Huns. Will he get a hat-trick against the Huns, and will we... is that the day that we win away, or will they beat us 3 times in a season? God forbid it, that they were to beat us 3 times in a season and have that trophy that says we beat Celtic 3 times in the one season and still managed to win nothing in the league. I'd rather get to the end of the league, to be honest. I'd rather get to the end of the league and be sitting there with the Premier Sports Cup, the league, and potentially a treble. Willie says, would be interesting to see how many goals Maeda could score playing centre forward for a full season. There's a shout. Could he break records? With the fact that Celtic are trying to get Daizen Maeda to sign up to a new contract, to make sure that there's no massive bids come in for him, to scare people away from putting in a cheeky bid for Daizen Maeda this summer. Can Daizen Maeda break the 50 goals a season? Can he score more than 50 goals in one season? I mean, what is the record for goals scored in one season? I think Daizen Maeda could definitely. Daizen has mastered one-touch goal. Yes, he has that. Business as usual, says Mikey Boy. Yes, it was good to be back watching Celtic, and business as usual at Celtic Park. A very composed back line today. I thought nobody was taking risks that they needed to. Mark Norowski, he seems to be... There's now going to be a conversation to be had over the next couple of weeks. Who's the better player, Austin Trusty or Mark Norowski? And you've got a £4 million player in Norowski, and then you've got pay for Trusty $6 million or something. So the 2 of them are equally as good as each other. But who has the more composure? Who has more composure when it comes to the running? Defenders are terrified playing against them. Talking about Daizen, yes. Jota returning is a godsend. He'll be taking players and telling them the money is good, but the feeling isn't the same, said Lanky. This is true. I'm starting to actually think that Daizen Maeda won't go anywhere this summer. I think that the offers, that if Celtic can get this deal done and dusted in the next month, with a new improved contract for Daizen, it may have a release clause in it of 30 to 35 million. That would be the only caveat and the only worry. His agent might put in, look, if an offer comes in for 35 million for Daizen Maeda, is that the release clause that could see him gone? But you don't know. Anyway, anyone knows how much Maeda's improved offer is? Nope, nobody outside. Trust his way faster. Irishman in Porto, you're actually right about that. And when it comes to the European stage, that's what probably Brendan Rodgers will be thinking about, is that pace for getting back when we're pushing up. So yeah, but then that's a lot. The issue with Robowski is he's right-footed. Rodgers wanted a left-footed centre back. Talking about the left back position, it was good to see the left back area not being unmanned like it has done many parts of this season. When Greg Taylor at the beginning of the season was coming inside, now Brendan Rodgers did say that it was the way that he wanted to play, it was the way that he wanted the team to play. But I did say, with Kieran Tierney coming back, Kieran Tierney doesn't play like that. Kieran Tierney doesn't come in on the left-hand side. He doesn't come in on the left-hand side and into the middle of the park. He sticks down the wing. He's a good old-fashioned winger, left back, and he sticks to the byline. It was good to see that Jeffrey Sloop was doing the same today. It was good to see that. Pubcat says, I should have done that one. Kyogo coming home? Nah, not a chance. Can't see it. Norowski isn't displacing CCV. No, I don't think he would, but could he replace Trusty? But as Irishman in Porto says, Trusty is the quicker player. And that comes into play, especially in the Champions League. Philip Clement, CSC, also says, I told you Baz, Maeda is going nowhere whilst his wife is pregnant. They won't want to go anywhere just now. Is his wife pregnant again? Jesus, she's shelling peas, isn't he? He's enjoying himself anyway, because he's got 2 already, doesn't he? He's going for 3. He's going for a treble. Daizen's going for a treble. Well, there you go. Maeda Maeda has a Scottish cat. It's going nowhere. Jesus. I thought that CC was going to lose his ride today. I thought that Cameron Carter-Vickers, you've got to say, the referee done himself no favours. I mean, I was listening on Celtic TV and some of the play acting by so-called hard men at Hearts and Cammy Devlin going down holding his head as if he'd been shot by a sniper. Cammy Devlin, and then he gets up and he's fucking running about, and it's like, piss off, do you know what I mean? Why's the ref not noticing this? Anyway, hail Baz from Rennie County Beath, comfortable win today, 3-0. Baz earlier in the week, I said Maeda and Jota score 3-0. Welcome to watch. Yes, it was 3-0. Kevin Clancy hates Celtic. Yeah, do you know what? He was trying his damnedest not to give us anything today, but it didn't work. More teams should follow Aberdeen under 12s and free. Yes. I don't know. Was it a full house at Aberdeen today? I know that Motherwell sell out their allocation, but you've got to think about it. They would never do it when Celtic come to town. They'll never reduce the price of the tickets because they know that they'll get the money out of Celtic fans. So, I mean, it's fair enough them doing it for that game, but Philip Clements, yes, seen him in Costco, and he got a picture with him and his wife. His wife's pregnant, or she's got a beer belly. She's got a beer belly. Oh. Peace, love, pork, and fat butterflies in the house. Now that's more like it. Yeah, it was the sheep were a sellout today. So the sheep were a sellout, and they managed to sell out all their tickets to Motherwell fans because it was dirt cheap for Motherwell to get in. Will Scottish football finally grab the bull by the horn and start giving tickets back to Celtic fans to fill out their stadiums, or will they start reducing the price of the tickets? That's a chat for another day, isn't it? Anyway, it was a fantastic game of football today. Angelo is in the house here who has run. Good game. Daizen Maeda, brilliant again. In one word in the comments, in fact, in one word in the comments, tell me what you think about Daizen Maeda today, because I thought that he was absolutely fantastic. Van Helle Singh says we need strengthen significantly. Centre forward, wingers, 2 mids, right back, goalkeeper, left back, even with KT and Sinisalo. Do you not think that Sinisalo is more than up to the game? I think we need another. Well, it's looking like that. Hopefully, Kasper Schmeichel's going to be okay, and he's not. And what about Liam Scales? Liam Scales has had to have an operation. Liam Scales has had to have an operation, so I wonder how long Liam Scales is going to be out for, since he's had an operation. Duracell, said Lanky. Awesome. Awesome. Duracell, he's fantastic. Fan David Dozy, tequila. Bastard. Celta Claus. Norowski is looking like a player. We spoke about that, Joe, and how easy is it going to be for Trusty to get back into the team? Because usually the person that has the shirt and that's playing, they get first preference, no matter how good another player is, except when it comes to Kalmak. Nobody can play Kalmak's position. Kalmak's always going to walk straight back into the pitch. But when it comes to the Norowski situation and the Trusty situation, when Trusty's fit, does he really walk back into the team? Do you know, has Rocky done enough to keep him at the team? I think he almost could have. Get Joe Hart out of retirement in the next season if Kasper is injured longer term. Imagine trying to finish the season with Scott Bain if Sinisalo gets crocked. I don't think that Sinisalo will get crocked, but Sinisalo 100% clean sheets in the league. He has that, and I hope that it goes on to the end of the season. Rocky's always been decent, just needed time to get up to speed, like Lagerbielke. I think that Lagerbielke, Gustav, was harshly dealt by Celtic. Bloody hope he doesn't. Do a poll, say that we can keep Maeda. It's not going to let me do a poll because I'm not on. I can't do a poll today. Unfortunately, I can't do a poll today because I'm not logged in. Do you feel Bernardo has been brought on and played in McGregor's position? Is expected to take over that position so Calmac can play more forward next season? No. No, I don't. I think that if Callum McGregor's 100% fit and up to speed, Callum McGregor plays the 90 minutes and Paulo Bernardo comes on for Arnie Engels. Straight swap for Arnie Engels. I think that Callum, there's nobody, I don't think there's anybody at Celtic can play the position, the whole midfield position. It's not just playing the position, it's the control, it's what Callum brings to the game. It's the total aspect of how he controls the game, how he tells players where they should be moving to. Do you know, he does the captain thing really, really well. He learned from Bruni. He's seen the way that, you've got to remember when Gordon Strachan got Bruni in, and he said to Bruni, he said, look, I don't want you to be a box-to-box midfielder anymore. I want you to be a holding midfielder that control the game and analyses everything. You're my man on the pitch. You're my eyes and ears on the pitch. And I want you to control and see where everybody's going and what everybody's doing. And when people aren't moving into positions, you're the one that's going to be telling them, look, you've got to do this one. You've got to do that. You've seen it when Callum McGregor was coming off. Do you know, he was telling everybody, like, just keep going, keep going. He was barking out orders to the players when he was coming off the pitch. That's the mark of a legend. That's the mark of a player that when he hangs up his boots, you're going to look back and go, do you know what? He was just as good as Scott Brown as captain. Do you know, we put Scott Brown away up there from the length of time he was at Celtic, and they called him leader, legend and captain. Callum McGregor is not far off going down that road. Callum McGregor has been at Celtic since he was a lad. He's going to be a one-club player. There's not many players in the modern game can do that. And the fact that he's elevated his games to such a high level, and he stayed at Celtic all these years, I just think it's fantastic. Daizen is a player I really rated. Lubo. Sinisala was very decent, says House Van Hill. Yep. Sinisala had a good game, had a really good game. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Jesus. I don't want that. Close the screen. Close. Go away. You're right, Baz. The bigger picture Carmack does for the whole, a lot more than Bernardo can do. Yes, exactly. I don't think even in a year's time, I can't see Paulo Bernardo being the type of player that Callum McGregor is in that midfield position. So yeah, is that your collection of hats in the background, Baz? Right. CCV knee, not good anymore. Toe fungus plague took over him. Yep. As CCV leads by his actions. Cameron Carter-Vickers plays the defender position and plays back up as number 2 captain like he should do. Do you know what I mean? You either want your captain to be one of your defenders or your holding midfield player, and as far as I'm concerned, CCV, he can control his back line. He knows where everybody should be. You know, he's the guy at the back that should be telling everybody to pace up at the same time, making sure that everybody's in line. You know, making sure that everybody and he does that fantastic. Stephen Johnson's in the house. Who Baz in the run? And one Celtic fans view chat this evening. He's away down on his performance. Not sure who you're talking about. Adam Maeda, when he came on, how do you feel that Adam Maeda played? After scoring for Ireland, people thought he's maybe going to come on and score for Celtic. He didn't. Some people say that, you know, does Adam Maeda get dragged out to the wing too much as a centre forward? Baz, we did struggle to break up Hearts back at the second half. Is this a problem? No, because they weren't wanting to lose any more goals. When you're 3-0 down, you're not going to look at the goals that Celtic scored. It was on the break, right? So it was when they were trying to hem us in. They were trying to put pressure on us. They were trying to stop us from playing, and we still managed to score 2 goals in 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and that was the majority of the game was played in the Celtic half. So the fact that the majority of the game was played in the Celtic half, in the Celtic half, and they were in a dominant area, if you like. They were going down too easy. They were getting free kicks and everything on the outside of our box, but we still managed to score 2 goals, which I thought was good from our point of view, because Brendan Rodgers will say, well, it's the fast attacking football that I want to play. You know, it's the pass to Callum McGregor, and then Callum McGregor, that wonderful pass that he made through to Daizen Maeda. The weight on that pass was absolutely sublime for Callum McGregor. And I've got to say, Rio Hatate did really well in midfield. We never spoke about Rio yet. But anyway, message for Police Scotland. Hoodies must be consensual. How did Harry Milne play today for Hearts? How much will we spend in the summer? I reckon at least 25 million is required. I think we'll spend at least 25 million this summer. If we want to progress in the Champions League, we'll definitely spend at least 25 to 30 million. And then we've still got to qualify for the Champions League this year. So we need to get the players in early. Ida didn't get too much time. He tends to go to the wing too much instead of just staying in the mid row. Bullying defenders, says Mark. I think this is true. I think that he does. It's a hard one for him, because when Adam Maeda plays through the 6-yard box, he scores goals all day long. But then when we're trying to break out from a defensive position, he automatically goes out to the wing to receive the ball out in the wing to try and hold the ball up. The downside from him is that he couldn't hold the ball up a couple of times, and the whole play just broke down. Anyway, Hitman Hart is in the house. Ida used to play on the wing for Norwich. That's why he strolls out to the wing. So that's maybe something that Brendan Rodgers needs to work on in training with Adam Maeda. But then again, we're going to be looking to get a new striker in the summer that plays right through the middle. So what will it say for Adam Maeda? Will Adam Maeda then go to third choice striker? And then what does it say for young Johnny Kenny? Will he stay around? I want to see a striker and a controlling midfielder next season for the Champions League. Who do we drop out the midfield? If you're wanting a controlling midfielder for next season, who do you drop out the midfield? Because it's not going to be Kalmak. Baz Kalmak's a Hall of Famer in the making 100%. I think he's Scotty boy. He's already a Hall of Famer. When you look at the games that he's played for Celtic, when you look at the managers that he's played under, when you look at the titles that he's won, and he's now doing it his own as captain. Do you know? I think that when it gets to the end of his career, when it gets to the end of Kalmak's career, you're going to look back, and it's not often that, especially in my lifetime, that you've seen a player come through the youth ranks, get into the first team. I mean, you're talking Paul McStay material. You're talking Tommy Burns material. Do you know what I mean? You're talking at that level. The fact that he's, especially, you could put comparisons to Paul McStay and Callum McGregor. The fact that the two of them came through the youth system at Celtic and they stayed at the one club. And I think that that's what puts Callum McGregor and James Forrest. Do you know, is it Brendan Rodgers said we're coming to the end of an era. Is that type of thing going to be even less and less now? Is it the end of an era because you're not going to get players who will stay at the club their full career? and because the youth of today want to get away from Celtic and just earn as much money as they can, as quick as they can. Maybe Celtic have to do something about that. But anyway, second half we could have done with another goal. Both halves won. Get your gob on the screen up close and personal. Oh dear, I know. Right, anyway, he's won more trophies than Tavernier in a season. He's a tortoise. Prediction, who cares? Who cares? Anyway, that has been done and dusted for today. It's good to be back. I will be back tomorrow morning, and it'll be the same kind of format because my laptop is in the repair shop. Anyway, on that note, have a fantastic day. Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.